What's going on, y'all? What is going on? I really appreciate being here this evening. I came to the Successes event last week to kind of poke my head in. Art reached out to me and I was like, let me come check it out. And when I walked in, I can say everybody was networking, speaking, talking, connecting, because I think that's so much of what we need in this world is to connect. So I'll give a little bit about myself. My name is Jenn from Japan. I am from Japan. I was born and raised there. I was a military kid. I am not Japanese. So I am Filipino and my dad is American. He's from Indiana. I was born out there. I was working for the military. So my background, I have been working for the military for over 20 years. I was doing different things throughout the military. I worked with children. That was where I started off, Boys and Girls Club. I've worked in the elementary schools with kindergartens, and then I started working and doing events. And that's where things took off for me. In high school, I was in theater. So I guess that's where my roots kind of laid down. So this is actually a little bit different for me, I'm gonna be completely honest. Normally when I take the stage, I'm doing poetry or something of that nature. So to be able to talk about my story first and foremost, let me just say that now I appreciate you guys for giving me a platform. I've never actually spoke about my story, which is speaking about my story. So thank you so much for that, Successes. I have to say thank you to those of you guys that came out on a just last minute invite. Thank you guys for being here as well. So once again, like I was saying, I was in Japan, I worked with children. I was always front facing with people. I realized that people was a passion for me. So I've always connected on that level. When I got into my 20s, I got married. Wasn't a bad thing, y'all. I got my chance to leave Japan. I moved to Virginia in 2012. I moved to Virginia and I got the opportunity to experience an open mic in the United States. I bring that up because in Japan, they didn't have open mics or that I knew of at the time. So as a poet and an artist, it was a way for me to express myself. I think that's really important nowadays because one thing we don't, I think there's a lot of depression because we don't have ways to express ourselves in so many different levels. So when I fell in love with that community, I wanted to bring that community back to Japan. My ex-husband now, I went back to Japan, he got orders, and I decided that with all of my experience working for the military, I was doing events in clubs in Japan, I was hosting them, I was always behind the scenes, y'all. I did not talk on this microphone to people until like 2016. Why? Because I always thought I was behind the scenes. I always just was like, you know what, I'm cool with everybody, that's why everybody likes me. I never thought for once that I was the main character in my own story until I moved to Las Vegas. Yeah. So coming from a space where, as a woman, as a foreigner, I was an American woman in Japan. I did not speak the language. I speak a little bit now, those are the other speakers. Hi, nice to meet everybody. But I can speak a little bit. But I proved that foreigners can live in Japan and not speak Japanese. With patience and understanding, you can communicate. I've traveled the world and it's the same. I know I'm kind of skipping around, but coming to Vegas in 2018, I made a conscious decision. I was working for the military. I did whatever they wanted me to do. I enjoyed that, but I was not being genuine and true to what I wanted to do in life. I came from a military family. Everything was laid out for me. I could have stayed over there. I was doing completely amazing. Medical benefits, everything came automatic. First 80,000 tax-free, so you can actually do a really great job and do that. But I knew in my heart where my passion lied, and that was within my voice. I knew that my mission lied within my voice to be able to share a message, to be intentional, and to connect with people. So when I came to Vegas, I was doing open mics. Judge, my journey's a little bit different, I must say, because I had a bit of a run-in with the law in 2019. In Chicago. So in 2019, once again, I moved to Vegas as an artist. And if you guys all know artists, They call them struggling artists. I wasn't necessarily struggling, but I was looking for an easy way out to continue doing art. I decided to run some drugs. I ran drugs across the country, didn't know, I had 30 pounds of weed, cannabis in my trunk. I got pulled over. I'm very transparent, y'all. I'm very transparent. I just want to share that I think it's really important to be transparent because where I'm at now and where I was in 2019 are two completely different places. So, Judge, you don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm safe, I promise. I went the legal way. But in 2019, when I got pulled over by the cops, number one, I tried to use every Law and Order episode that I watched to get out of it. I swear I tried. He said, no, we're gonna need to question you. So when I got pulled in, they were like, I tried to talk to them. They came in and said, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. And the guy says, you know what? You've done this before. I said, I've done what before? I've never been pulled over by cops and, arrested. I've never been arrested before. So that was the first time I was arrested. That was the first time I went to jail. So to be in that position and they're telling me I have 6 to however many years because I have 30 pounds of cannabis was a lot to face. But when I was sitting in that jail cell, because my Law and Order episodes did not work, by the way. Yeah, I realized really quickly, yeah. Yeah, wrong season, exactly. And when I was sitting in the jail cell, it really gave me an opportunity to really reflect on why was I in the United States. I did not come to the United States to be the Queen of the South. But at the time, that's what I was watching on Netflix. And so then I realized the diet we consume, like Steve said, is very important. So I never watched Queen of the South again. Because I was like, just in case that was why, I didn't want to manifest that energy into my life again. When I got released, I only did 30 days. They dismissed my charges. I had an amazing lawyer. I know a lot of people can't say the same, but when I came back to Vegas, I decided to make a conscious decision to get back on that track to do what I wanted and what I came here to do, which was to host events and to share my poetry and just to share my story and to share with people that I understand that things get tough. We take shortcuts and sometimes we pay tremendously for those shortcuts. But if you are genuine with what you want, you're passionate about what you're trying to do, you can absolutely change those cards for you. Absolutely. So fast forward now to 2024. I work at Nuwu Cannabis. I work on Paiute tribal lands. I came in as a bud tender. I just kind of fell into it in November 2022. I was a bud tender. I learned more about weed the legal way. And then after a few months, they realized my skill set being front facing. They gave me the opportunity. The tribe believed in me enough to put a mic in my hands, and they allowed me to represent them at Nuwu. When I do shows, I host events and things like that. So they gave me that opportunity. So I'm super thankful, and I always believe that if you're truly moving in that alignment and working towards it, whether it's baby steps. I was just having a conversation and saying, it definitely is a marathon, y'all. It really, really is. But along the way, you kind of got those people cheering for you on the sides when you're running their marathon. They're handing you water cups, and they're kind of like, you got this, keep on going, you got 52 more miles, And you're gonna keep on going. And so I appreciate you guys for coming out today. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting, me and coming out just coming out for Jenn from Japan. I know you guys So I appreciate that. But what's really important to me is that you guys continue to follow those passions and go full force, because now, like I said, I'm at Nuwu. I host the events, karaoke nights every Wednesday. I host an open mic that will be coming August 10th, my year anniversary for the open mic at Nuwu. It is cannabis friendly, but you are not required to smoke. We have a 5-acre courtyard you can consume on property. We have 2 dab bars, a consumption lounge. We have over 1,500 different products. So if you guys are cannabis users, or if you have someone in your family that uses cannabis medicinally, we have a lot of things for you, so definitely come out. But on the other side of that, my voice business. I'm at NUWU, but my main driving thing is being able to stand up in front of people, be able to speak to them, be able to share and make people feel something. And so to be able to sit here today or stand here today and share my story and be able to do that really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate that. And Lululemon hired me to speak at their leadership summit about 2 months ago. So I'm really grateful. Yeah, they reached out to me and the woman said, I don't know how I found you, but your name was Jenn from Japan. I was on your website. By the way, I got a website, jennfromjapan.com. Check it out, I have pictures there, that part. Definitely if you guys want to book me for anything, I do voice services. I have hosted weddings and after weddings for different things. I've been asked to perform at weddings, doing different poetry. I do keynote speaking, motivational speaking. So any kind of voice needs you have, musical collaborations, voice work, narrating, anything. I've been working on my airport voice, so you have arrived at Las Vegas Airport. So if you guys can have anybody that can play. Yeah, your flight has been delayed. I've been practicing, y'all. I've been practicing. So for any voice needs that you want, any messages you want to share, I'm your girl. You can definitely check me out on my website. Also, please take out your phones. My name is Jenn from Japan on Instagram. It is JENNFROMJAPAN. Please follow me there. I also put out a lot for the dispensary, but on my own side, I've started to really push into my own business. So once I can get that fully operating, then I'll probably step away. But until then, cannabis has given me a stage, and I'm super grateful to the Paiute tribe for trusting me enough to be able to hold the mic and represent them. So thank you so much.